What's up guys, this is Yasin. So for quite a few weeks or months now, people have been asking me, yo Yasin, do you think that Crystron needle fiber or Halqifibrax, whatever, glass fiber, I'm just gonna call it needle fiber, there you go, it's less of a headache for me. Do you think that this card can get unbanned, or do you think it would be broken in Crystron or abused in other decks? What kind of errata would it need for it to be unbanned? It's really hard for me to just answer, hypothetically speaking, because we never know exactly what Konami has in plan for us. And obviously whatever happens at the TCG has to happen first in the OCG, that's usually how it works. At least for erratas. Like, we never get a card unbanned before the OCG, unless it can get unbanned without an errata. But honestly, cards like Summon Sorceress, Needle Fiber, Link Cross, all those cards, they kind of belong in the same category. Firewall Dragon is another one of them. When a card is way too broken, it just has to get a huge nerf first, and then it can get unbanned. Now, Needle Fiber is really interesting because the reason why we started asking ourselves if the card could get unbanned is because Crystron just got new support. It's not really that new, but yeah, Supreme Darkness really made the deck go from complete dog shit to randomly good out of nowhere. And honestly, we're starting to realize that even if we unban Needle Fiber, there are some combos that aren't necessarily better with the card, even if you keep it at full power. And obviously, if you nerf the card and errata it, you can even argue that it could be dead content. Before we go any further, you already know the drill, of course. Smash the like and subscribe button, and huge, massive shoutouts to my Blue Eyes and Crystron spreadsheet. You can find them on my website, yacineygo.com. The link will always be at the very top of the description box below. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so this is combo number 1 with Crystron inclusion, assuming that we allow ourselves to play with Needle Fiber. So obviously, the combo, in case you didn't know, it's always going to be the exact same at the very start. So you search for the Sulfadol, and then you send Smiger and Theistvern. You search Tristalos as well as Cluster with both graveyard effects, and then you summon the Alaskeletas, which recycles back either the Smiger or Theistvern. And then when we're going to be going Tristalos effect banish to special summon 2 monsters from the deck, it's going to be 1 Sulfador and Sulfafnir, and then you're going to be going into Needle Fiber now if you have access to it. And we're going to be summoning another Tristalos, and then Sulfafnir effect, discard the Theistvern, summon itself, and then self-destruct, summon another one, and then make Nova, and then make Infinity, and then Inclusion, revive back Tristalos number 2, and we're going to be going set a cluster past turn. This is 4 disruptions, because the Needle Fiber can turn into the Silvera Wolf Tamer of the White Forest, which can Book of Eclipse every monster your opponent controls, so that's actually a really good interruption. And then we also have Tristalos into Sulfafnir or Sulfador to make the Quaron Gondrax to banish up to 3 monsters on your opponent's field and or graveyard. And we've got the Cluster that can destroy 2 cards, as well as Infinity that is an Omni Negate. So with 1 single card, we can get 4 disruptions, which is cool and all, but let's figure out what you can do with 1 single inclusion without Needle Fiber. Okay, so this is the current combo that you can do in Crystron with obviously the current card pool at our disposal, so obviously the exact same thing at the very start. I'm just going to skip ahead because it's kind of redundant, especially if you know how the deck works. And again, if you want a deeper understanding of the deck, you already know what to do. It's not like I've been saying this for the past like 5 months or something. All right, okay, so this is where it becomes a little different. Instead of making a Needle Fiber, we're making a Dragster here. So that's the main difference. And then we're going, okay, so Fafnir effect, blah, 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 summon another one. And then we're making Nova, and then Infinity. And then Inclusion, revive back the Tristalos. So the only difference between this combo and the other one is that we only have 1 Tristalos, and instead of having Needle Fiber, we've got Dragster, which looks like it's worse, but it's also for disruptions, just like the other one. And also, your Cluster is also going to be able to destroy 2 cards, because the way you sequence this combo out is you go Dragster Negate first, so that it becomes level 5. And then we're going to go, okay, Tristalos effect, summon Citri, and then Quick Sync for the Quaron Gondrax to banish 3, or up to 3. And then the Cluster is going to be able to destroy 2 cards, including potentially your own Quaron Gondrax if there's something relevant to summon back in the banished, because it does summon back from your opponent's banished. So yeah, it can be 1 card on your field, 1 card on your opponent's field. That way, sometimes you actually destroy your own Sulfafnir, so that you can summon the Citri that you just shuffled back using the Cluster, so that you can go into a second Dragster, which is the reason why Ephidon Dragster can be easily played as a 2 of in the deck. And if you actually understand the combos, this is something that you can very easily do. But not with the 1-card combos, except if you're not making Infinity, in which case that's really easy to do. But yeah, that's still a really good board, right? The only drawback, I guess you want to say, is that you have to play Citri if you want to make the Quaron Gondrax. But honestly, I don't really care too much. It doesn't really change too much to my life. Like, yeah, sure, it makes my deck like slightly worse, but is that really all I lose for having no access to Needle Fiber? I'll kind of take it. Okay, so far I've shown some really fair combos, whether it was with or without Needle Fiber, because I am assuming that Needle Fiber would, restrict you to only be able to summon some Crystron monsters. And I will keep doing the exact same thing here because I don't want to show like super generic Crystron combos. I mean, some super generic Needle Fiber combos. I'm rather going to show specific combos for Needle Fiber for the Crystron deck. And then maybe, if you guys show enough interest, I could actually look into the most degenerate combos that you can currently do if Needle Fiber were to get unbanned. But then again, I really doubt that it will happen without an errata. But yeah, this one is really interesting. Kashtira, Unicorn, and any tuner monster. Look at how nasty it is. So yeah, Unicorn, Surge of Birth, and then normal summon your tuner, and then go into Needle Fiber. And then that is going to be summoning the Tristalos, but then Birth is going to revive back the Unicorn, and then we can make a level 9 synchro, such as Chao Feng. Tristalos destroy that Chao Feng, and then summon Tristalos as well as Sulfador. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, so you can search any hand trap, including Ash. Well, I mean, any tuner, which could be Ash or Veiler, whatever, and then send your Sulfafnir as well as Theisvern. And the Theisvern, of course, is going to be searching the Smyger, discard that, or rather go for Eleskeletas first, because the Sulfafnir would rather want to destroy the Eleskeletas, since there's nothing else to destroy after that. I mean, yeah, kind of, but we're not really trying to destroy the Sulfafnir. It's really neggy, so you just trust the process, because now we can go Sulfador, destroy the Inclusion, and then make Nova Infinity, and then also Inclusion, revive back the second Tristalo. So that is the trend that I've noticed, actually, the pattern that is easily recognizable. When I play Needle Fiber, I mean, if I have access to it, I never have to play Citri. So my deck is better, my main deck is better, but the extra deck is a little messier because I'm going to have to play Needle Fiber, and I'm going to have to play Silvera, White Witch of the White Forest, and in a world in which it gets errata so that you can only summon Crystron Tuner off of the effect, but also a Crystron Tuner Synchro off of the second effect, then you're going to have to start summoning Crystron Quandax. That's pretty much your only option. And Quandax is not necessarily too bad because in a world where you go Cluster, Destroyer, or Quantum Groundrax, and something else your opponent controls, you can summon back your Banished Smyger, and then Quandax is a level 4 tuner that can quick sync, so you can make a Effidon Dragster on your opponent's turn, which is not too bad, right? It's a card that you're already playing, so it's not like you're making your deck that much worse. And you have a huge amount of disruptions here, so yeah, the Tristalos can chain to the Ice Razor, summon either Sulfafnir or Sulfadol, doesn't really change anything, and then Quantum Groundrax, of course, can banish up to 3 monsters. So we're really never giving an opportunity for the opponent to play the game. Infinity can negate anything here. We still have the Ash. We don't even have to use it. Just to give you an idea of how broken the combo is. And honestly, it wasn't even that much. It's like Kashtira, Unicorn, and any tuner monster out there. Normal summon Effect Veiler. We started with 0 Crystrons, and we're doing all of this. Complete insanity. And yeah, Cluster, destroy 2 cards, as well as the Silvera to Book of Eclipse everything. Bro, there's just no shot you lose, right? Your opponent started with like the best combination of cards, doesn't matter, who cares? Ice Razor, Engraver, Talent, you can have even more than that. You can have Book of Eclipse, I'm just gonna Ash it because I'm searching the out to it anyways. It's a nice deck. It's a really, really broken combo that you can do, it's insane. And yeah, Needle Fiber definitely makes this significantly better because it really does increase the consistency of your deck by a long shot. And actually, if I can really answer the question that we asked ourselves at the very start of the video, is Needle Fiber really a card that will make Crystron that much better? The answer is, honestly, not really. It's a really good card for sure, but if it's like limited to just Crystron only, it's not necessarily a broken card. I think it can get unbanned with, obviously with an errata to make it only playable in its own deck, but I will say the following. If Needle Fiber gets a material errata, so if you need like a Crystron monster to make it, the card is utter garbage. Nobody's gonna play it, it's gonna be dead content. So if you need, because the thing is, the main combos that make Needle Fiber broken are the ones where you bridge into your engine using 0 Crystron cards. So again, like Unicorn and a Hand Shop, or if you, let's say, like you're on Simplified Game State, or you have like a monster stealing card, like Change of Heart going second, and then you bricked on too many Hand Shops because it's supposed game 1 you're going second, you choose 0 non-engine cards, you can still eventually get to playing the game. That's really cool. But also in this situation, we had Unicorn, we didn't have Fenrir. Fenrir would have been worse. But there was always something interesting that you can do. And I'm sure there's some even better combos if you also play like weird cards like Sprite Sprint to send Tristalos from deck to grave, and then find like weird waves of synchro summoning. But yeah, no, Needle Fiber is probably like your best friend for that. So I think that this card would be fair in Crystron, and that's about it. It wouldn't really break the game. This card is 100% fine to unban. That's what really this video is there to prove. But again, that's assuming that there is an errata. Otherwise, yeah, it would definitely be broken. Yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know if you figure out anything spicy to do with Crystron needle fiber. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.